moving on and making things a little bit more difficult now. What we're going to do is we're going to take one card and assign it a meaning. So this is waving goodbye, so this means goodbye. So you can kind of see that people are waving goodbye. So this means goodbye. This means the end of the world. Then what you're going to do is put another card there and look at all of them, but give them all a new meaning. So you're going to look at all three of them now and assign one meaning to all of them. So basically you've got what is going on here. We've got kind of movement, we've got movement of movement. So I'm going to blend these all together and say that there's movement going on. So obviously I've used these cards originally to come up with one meaning for this, one meaning for this. But adding the cards, what I'm doing is I'm blending them all together to come up with a brand new meaning of all three. So I'm taking the imagery of, instead of just one card, I'm taking the imagery of three cards together. But what I've done is decided to try and confuse myself, because of course, if I've already got a meaning assigned to one card, such as this one is meditation, and this one is going off for a walk, then it's really difficult for me to then refocus on these cards, because I'm still thinking in my mind meditation, and I'm still thinking in my mind going for a walk. But actually what you want to do, you want to ignore what you originally said, or the original meanings that you put on these, and then create a broader meaning for each card. So for this, I'm thinking impending doom. Why am I getting that? Well, to me, that's pretty a doomed person, because that person has basically been stabbed in the back by a load of swords. That person has got swords dangling above them. That person is about to walk off the edge. So for me, this is a doomy, gloomy set of cards, because something bad has either happened or is about to happen. Now obviously that's a lot different than taking my original meanings. I'm keeping the same card but applying new meanings. So I'm essentially recycling the card that's already been put down. Now a lot of people, when it comes to tarot, they'll keep asking question after question after question, using more and more and more cards. But what you will see is sometimes you'll have tarot card readers that will get information, and a lot of information, from just one card. Well, the reason behind that is that they're using this card to cast another reading upon another reading. So instead of just having it assigned as one meaning, and then for more information picking another card up, what they're essentially doing is, of course, they're recalibrating and reusing the card. So with that one, if I'm thinking of in terms of retiring in a village far away, and that one I'm thinking in terms of going to the beach, then putting them together, I'm getting a new meaning of a holiday. Why am I getting a meaning of a holiday? I'm not entirely sure. Where did I get that from? Who knows? It just sort of came to me. You could reverse engineer it and think in terms of, well, I did say that that was a beach, and I did say that was a retirement village, but I'm just getting an overwhelming sense that there's some sort of seaside relaxation. Okay? It's just one of those funny things that it is a case of assigning a new meaning. So if you are struggling with doing it with the free cards, what you want to do is just say, okay, this card means going for a walk, and then turn it over. Wait a couple of seconds, turn it back. What's the new meaning of the card? The new meaning of the card for me is victory. Victory and power. Do it again. Ignore it. What's the new meaning of the card? The new meaning of the card is planting trees in the garden. It's the new meaning of the card. The new meaning of the card is getting dressed to go out. How am I getting so much imagery from this? Well, I don't know. Every single time I turn the card over and try and just leave it, and putting it back, and then something new is coming through into my mind. Now obviously when it comes to the old-fashioned ways of assigning meanings, you would have playing cards with the cartomancy, like I explained in the beginning video of this YouTube series, that you would get specific meanings from each card, and you'd get one meaning for the card, and what you would have to do is put the card down and say, well, that means such and such. Now, unless you memorize these cards and apply those meanings to the card and keep adding more and more and more and more and more cards to it, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Whereas in this system, of course, because there's so much going on in each card, and each card is quite rich with symbolism, then you can literally just do one card readings and get so much information out of it by focusing in and unfocusing and then focusing in. This is, at the end of the day, is a prompt. The card is not really giving you information. The card is just a tool to open up your mind and to allow the free flow of information for your unconscious mind to tell your conscious mind what is going on. Now, going back to original card decks, there are hybrid decks such as the Fanny Cranach cards, where what they do is they take the original card, so the original, playing cards, and then what they do is just write the meaning in the middle. So 5, you will make a great impression on someone very, very soon. Don't fall for lies that surround you, blah, 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 blah. Now, if you're going to do a reading like this, so if we shuffled it, then yeah, okay, you might be able to get a little bit of information. So I might ask one question: how's my day going to end? Warning, you need to do some protection magic. Well, I might take that at face value. But in terms of a proper tarot reader, these are really for amateurs. A proper tarot reader is going to be able to tell you that and tell you why, tell you what's going on by opening the cards up, by saying something along the lines of, you've been really successful and you're going to have more success in the future. Well, why am I going to do that? Well, if I'm using the method here, I would be, I would be pulling more and more and more cards. Whereas with this one, I can just flip it and re-look or focus in on a specific part of the card. You can't do that in the traditional form, So there we go. Just do that little exercise. And then when we've done that, or when you've done that, just move on to the next one. Again, don't need to overstress yourself, and you don't need to second guess yourself, because it doesn't matter. The meanings that you're applying, they don't matter yet. We're not getting onto the stage where we are, trying to get loads of information. At the moment, we're just playing, and we're getting you used to certain concepts and certain ideas. Okay, move on to the next video when you're ready.